Hyundai Tucson versus Toyota RAV4. Hyundai Tucson wins every time. Get 0% APR.
On January 27th, 2021, the initial trailer was released for a zombie survival game called The Day Before. It was hype. People loved it, and who can blame them? Zombies have been at the forefront of entertainment media for years now. Despite that, we haven't seen too many success stories in the gaming space. There is definitely a lot of mileage left for zombie games. The trailer quickly drew reactions from gaming content creators, and it wasn't long before questions started to be asked regarding not only the quality of what was on display, but the validity of the entire project. After all, who were these developers? What had they done before that would lead us to believe they were capable of such a beautiful and ambitious game? And where was a small studio getting the money to fund it all? It would be an understatement to say that these questions led to a rabbit hole. It was too big and too deep to be considered such. Instead, we're 2 years later and we're still questioning everything. This is The Day Before, the most wished for game on Steam that might not even exist. There are 2 questions you're going to need to remember throughout this video. One, is The Day Before a scam? And if it is, what exactly is it they're gaining by doing this? So after the initial hype of the trailer, which ended with an ominous coming soon screen and a link to wishlist the game on Steam, things went quiet for a few months. That is until March of 2021, when Mytona, which is the company who owns the development team Fantastic, sent out emails to the media, myself included. They informed us of a special live stream to be broadcasted on the IGN official YouTube channel, which we should definitely tune in for and check out if we were interested in The Day Before. Getting your game on the IGN platform like this is a huge deal, and of course it would draw the attention of other news outlets, creators, and game enthusiasts alike. So people marked it on their calendar, March 31st at 9 PST. All we knew is that they were saying it's showtime and we would be among the first to see, and I quote, something exciting. But unfortunately, showtime it wasn't. The livestream was delayed 24 hours prior on March 30th and instead set to go live on April 6th at the same time. Fast forward a week, fans tuned in, they were excited to see the Day Before logo with some nice chill background music, and surely it's gonna start soon, right? Well, no. The music continued to play, but nothing else happened. If you fired up Twitter to check the official Fantastic developer account, you would soon discover they were having some, quote, technical problems with the Day Before event. But worry not, you could enjoy the lakeside campfire radio while you waited. And waiting is exactly what you were doing. For 9 hours, which is how long the stream ran like this. Bear in mind, this was expected to play a gameplay trailer. The level of technical ability required to load up a stream and then play an MP4 file for people to watch is something a child could accomplish. But this company, in partnership with IGN, a company that has run some of the biggest gaming announcements of the last decade, somehow couldn't handle this prospect. And so after 9 hours, the stream went down, and the Twitter account posted another update, stating the event was now postponed, and they'll set a new date soon. Now obviously this raised huge questions. Why did they delay it in the first place? Why did they set it if it wasn't ready? Was the gameplay trailer even there to be played? And why did they leave the stream up for 9 hours if they knew they couldn't get it to work? The only question we can really answer is that of competence. They seem to lack it. If a company can't get a trailer to go live, despite delaying it for a week already, how are they going to be able to deliver this massively ambitious game? The level of confidence in The Day Before was already low, but now the bar was set so low that even the most charitable person couldn't limbo it. But as we all know, public perception can easily be turned with hype. You're only ever one good gameplay trailer away from everyone forgetting what had happened in the first place. Which is why on April 9th, millions of people still watched eagerly. 13 minutes of gameplay was on display. Surely enough to prove to the doubters that this game really existed. After all, you could see driving vehicles around gorgeous landscapes, shooting zombies with awful efficiency, looting resources like food and ammo, entering and securing houses, and the tease of an intense player versus player interaction. After all, the most dangerous part of any zombie experience is always that of other survivors. But what any discerning video game enthusiast knows is that trailers are best taken with a 1 kilogram bag of salt in these modern times. Usually this statement refers to cinematic or teaser trailers, but it also applies to gameplay too. It is incredibly possible to massage the product to look infinitely better than the reality of the current state. For instance, you can build vertical slices of a game that have no underlying mechanics actually built on a wide scale, simply spending time to put together a sort of demo, a showcase of a small feature set in a very small area. You could spend hundreds of hours building this out, which oftentimes is hours wasted in development, since building for trailers is usually not the same as building for a playable experience. Usually games look awful for a very long time until they're actually near to being done. So when you have a trailer that's years out for a game that looks amazing, chances are that's not actually representing what the game is right now. It's essentially just makeup, it's marketing material, it's making it look pretty to sell the idea of what they think the game's gonna be. You can see this all across the industry. When a game's announced, it looks great, and then maybe a few years later it still looks good, but it's not usually as good as what you saw back then. The reason you can make it look graphically way better is due to the lack of a grander scale. The game might actually suffer from performance issues if this was a fully built game, but in a small vertical slice you can probably make it perform pretty well. Now that isn't to say this is what the Day Before was doing, but as we go further down the rabbit hole, the question remains and the possibility grows. Remember at the start of the video, I asked you to keep two questions in mind. Is the Day Before a scam? And if it is, what do they gain? Now to answer the first question, you would need to know what it is they're gaining in the first place. After all, the game isn't crowdfunded, they're not accepting pre-orders, and they're gaining zero money from the public. So how could it be malicious, or how could they be manufacturing this if they had no reason to do so?
Prepare to stream something amazing after the event. What does that mean? Is something coming today, guys?
You've just seen some new videos from the Day Before, and you know the release date.
We're looking forward to delivering the Day Before for you.
And now we have something more.
Our second inner team at Fantastic has been working on something super fun over the year.
We're happy to show you our new game, Prop Night.
Join Prop Night Open Beta right after the event.
The most wishlisted game on Steam, a game that was being covered by thousands of YouTubers and Twitch streamers with a combined audience in the millions or tens of millions, was using email invites to hook people into a live trailer launch, teasing the potential to play and livestream something amazing after said trailer. Everyone thought this was going to be a surprise drop of the Day Before, with an alpha or something like that for people to play, to show off that they had a product. That something amazing though was Prop Night, an unrelated game that this tiny indie development studio had apparently been working on in conjunction with the Day Before. And the marketing, of course, had worked. The game peaked with thousands of players and over 100,000 Twitch live viewers on launch day, before of course inevitably falling into obscurity over the coming months of 2022. This was a fantastic attention grab using the clout that they'd garnered for the Day Before, one that would have paid off like almost nothing else if the product they promoted was of sufficient quality. And that's not to say Prop Night isn't good, but it's not a fantastic game. This is not something that people were crying out for. This is not the most wishlisted game on Steam. If it had been, this would have been propelled into a realm of success that is hardly possible from organic methods. Instead, what they got was initial interest and then a surge of complaints about the bait and switch tactic that they'd used. Essentially what they'd done here is traded the long-term trust and the public perception of their company, which was already at a low due to the fact nobody had seen the game, for a short-term boost on Prop Night. And maybe in a stroke of genius to kind of soften the blow a little bit of this announcement, they did say when the launch date would be, June 21st, 2022, roughly 8 months until people got the real thing, the game that they were here for. Now as of the next 6 months, nothing really happened. There was a 60-second Nvidia RTX clip, and then the website also went down, with zero explanations. But that's not a huge deal, right? Of course, not in isolation, and certainly could be entirely innocent, but in context, it was yet another arrow in the quiver of doubt, and another question mark as to not only the legitimacy, but the competence of this team that nobody truly knew anything about. Now at this stage, as fans usually do as they're waiting for something, if you're too quiet, they get quite upset, and people are asking questions You've been talking about Prop Night, you've been updating Prop Night. Where's some more news on the day before, the game we actually care about? The developers replied on May 3rd, 2022, with an announcement to an announcement, something that isn't uncommon in the games industry, but it's pretty annoying. The day before news will be this week! Which does sound hype, and people were like, okay, good, there's going to be news. But unfortunately that news was they were delaying the launch, something that a lot of people expected, because they weren't really showing the game, which made no sense.
I do not do a podcast, UFC event. I don't do anything without using Alpha Brain. Oh, that one's a little fishy. I don't know about that one. Everything that we have is things that I use and things that I can.
A month before launch, that's presumably when you'd be doing the most marketing. As for the reason for the delay, well, that was the fans' fault. You see, they were truly DJ Khaled here, just suffering from success. Due to the incredible popularity of the game, they wanted to delay it so they could make it better, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, when people are questioning whether your product exists, this is probably not the best look. This came in the form of an update from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, which had just released the month prior in April of 2022. This created a huge buzz of excitement in the industry because Unreal Engine 5 looks amazing. Everything you can do with it is amazing, and if your game's going to be on Unreal Engine 5, everyone is pretty excited for it. Unfortunately, this meant that the day before was going into 2023, March 1st specifically. Now there of course exists the saying, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is bad forever, famously from Nintendo video game designer Shigeru Miyamoto. However, no one had proof this game even existed, let alone would be eventually good, and you had to ask the question, were they just using the day before to drum up eyeballs of media and directing them to alternate, easier to create games? Due to questions like this being asked, people started to do some background checking on the team. Specifically, what games had they made previously? This was again more information to doubt that this was ever going to exist. Every game that this developer had made had been abandoned eventually, and by eventually, I don't mean years down the line when it was clear the game was fundamentally poor and wouldn't amount to what they expected, I mean abandoned almost immediately. The Wild 8 being an example of this. It was a, quote, intense survival action adventure set in the frozen wilderness of Alaska with online co-op capability. A game that had mostly positive reviews on release, but remained broken and lacking in care post-launch. It doesn't end there. They released 2 other games, a 30-minute long single-player narrative game that was made for mobile phones, but on Steam, and a first-person multiplayer horror game, which also launched in early access, flopped immediately, and abandoned just 3 months later. Which means 3 times people had bought games from this studio, and all 3 times they were sold an unfinished product that was not updated to a sufficient standard. According to the timeline of when they released and subsequently abandoned their latest game, Dead Dozen, and when they talked about starting development of the day before, the two lined up almost exactly, which is not a good look for a developer in isolation, but in context again, even worse. Yet more snow packed onto the snowball rolling down the hill of public perception. What really took the cake though was their website update, which included a section called Be a Volunteer.
Whatever you do in life, you do it willingly or unwillingly. If you do it willingly, it becomes a heaven. If you do it unwillingly, it becomes a hell. Fantastic culture is based on the idea of volunteering. Being a volunteer means that you willingly take part in working for a common cause.
The idea of volunteering comes from our own experience and aspiration, or in other words, to become a person who says yes to life. Volunteering means that in every action you take, you bring a certain pleasantness.
Now let me just say that Fantastic appear to be using the most incredible PR speak imaginable here to turn what is an insane concept into one of utter confusion. Firstly, they say that Fantastic's culture is based on volunteering and that every single member of the company is a volunteer, meaning they're not holding anyone at gunpoint or forcing them to work, which I'm not sure is something you should need to clarify. So why do they? Well, because the idea of using unpaid volunteers is generally frowned upon, especially when it comes to doing the kind of work that Fantastic is looking for. they state that they employ full-time volunteers who are by definition just full-time salaried workers, and then they ask for part-time volunteers who work for, quote, cool rewards, participation certificates, and free codes, which, in lieu of payment for services rendered, are by definition not free, are they? The work they list for these free volunteers is things like translating, community moderating, and, quote, offer their unique skills to improve our projects or create new special features, which is incredibly vague, presumably on purpose to alleviate criticism. Now, just to clarify, Fantastic did come out in defense of all this, writing to Kotaku that the unpaid labor they were soliciting didn't actually write game code, but instead did things that also take time and usually garner salaries, such as localization, which alleviates the question of how is this game going to be good if they're using unpaid random people to code it, but begs the question why they think it's okay as a company claiming to be delivering the future of survival games in a massive multi-million-dollar AAA fashion while not paying for industry standard jobs. Now fast forward to 2023. YouTuber Big Fry posted a video discussing yet another incredibly suspicious aspect of Fantastic's marketing surrounding the day before. The studio released on January 4th, 2023 a video titled Life at Fantastic. As a YouTuber myself, I'm keenly aware of what is product placement and what is organic. This entire video watched like a dedicated and poorly obfuscated advertisement. The product on display is front and center throughout the 5-minute runtime. It's called the Continent app. They mention the Continent app multiple times in name throughout the video, which is incredibly inorganic and jarring. They also talk about their external volunteers again, and this is unclear whether they're talking about the paid or unpaid ones. The curious part of this though comes when you search the Continent app that they were pushing. Would you have guessed that this app is developed and owned by none other than Fantastic themselves? If you did guess that, congratulations. But you know what? In true Fantastic fashion, this gets even worse. They teased this Life at Fantastic video on their social media, claiming it will include new details about the game people are waiting for the day before. They were trying to direct their massive army of fans to come and view it. The video released only a few hours after an Nvidia exclusive showcase, which of course also directed eyeballs to Fantastic social media. Does this seem familiar at all? But wait, there's more. It seemed like yet another bait and switch, in almost the identical fashion as previously with Prop Night. Hey, you, interested fans of this game, come look at this cool day before information. Oh, what's that? Another product you don't care about but we happen to have created in the last few years? That's crazy. I wonder how that got there. And to make it even stranger, this video went live with a normal video description, but less than an hour afterwards, they updated it to include a Continent app link which says, quote, download Continent, and then a pinned comment with the same text and link. Something that advertisers will usually stipulate you do for YouTube videos so the maximum amount of people see it and are more likely to go and click on the product. And of course, to make it as sketchy as possible, when people called them on it, they removed the pinned comment, changed the Continent app link to fantastic.com, turned off likes and dislikes to hide the massive dislike ratio, and then turned off the comments so people couldn't talk about it. If that isn't shamelessly being caught red-handed for something a child could see through, I don't know what is, and I don't know why they thought this would work, or that people wouldn't notice. So now that brings us to modern day. We have those two questions still. Is the day before a scam? And if so, what are they gaining? Well, so far, they've used their massive media presence and the captivated audience in order to launch an unrelated game and to try and sell an unrelated app. There's also the distinct possibility they've been using that public attention to parlay private funding, though that of course has no evidence and is just a theory. Though everybody knows if you have the most wishlisted game on the biggest gaming platform in the world, it's probably going to be easier to get some funding to walk into a boardroom and say, look at what we have, than if you don't have anything. Having said all that, we're going to find out real soon, because it's only a few months until the game launches, right? Well, on January 24th, 2023, people discovered that searching Steam's most wishlisted game was impossible. It wasn't there anymore. The game had vanished. It had been removed from Steam. Immediately, of course, the rumour mill churned into action, and people were speculating Steam had decided the game had long enough to prove itself real and removed it. Or maybe somebody had unearthed some evidence, sent it to Steam, and they'd removed the game as it didn't exist. Fantastic's moderator, Wolf, took to the Steam discussion board to clarify the situation. He stated, quote, "We are currently experiencing a minor technical difficulty with our game's visibility on the Steam store page. This is a known bug that has affected multiple titles in the past." He goes on to state that this is due to Steam maintenance and that it would be restored once maintenance concludes. This, however, was both incorrect and a lie. The game was not experiencing technical difficulty, it was experiencing incompetence, as it always had been. Fantastic released a statement which clarified on the reality of the situation. Steam blocked their game page at the request of a private individual. They state, and please hold your laughter, that the game, when they announced it in January 2021, had not actually been trademarked. The name the day before was not theirs, which means it was available for anyone else to do so. They also claim that they were only aware of the situation on January 19th, 2023. Both of these statements are, according to public filing records, also both incorrect. An individual by the name of Sunjay Lee filed a trademark months after the day before was announced, on May 21st, 2021. Fantastic then filed their trademark on January 27th, 2022, over a half a year later.
Wow, there's some drama behind this. I don't know if I should buy this game. I have a bad habit.
One year after they announced the game, as of November 2022, Sunjay Lee's trademark was approved without contention. That same month, Fantastic received a notice stating their trademark would not be processed, obviously due to the fact it was already taken. Now, of course, this is very confusing, and this news also came with information they were cancelling the launch of their much anticipated game trailer that was due to release within the next week or so, because they totally can't launch that trailer while a trademark issue is going on. Not only that, but they were also delaying the game, this time from March of 2023 to November of 2023. So let's examine this for a minute. What makes this situation absolutely ridiculous? Every facet of this has a massive question mark next to it. Firstly, why did you work on a game for 2 years without filing a trademark for it, something that's incredibly easy to do, especially when you announced it to the public and critically when the game got massive fanfare and attention? Surely you must have known this was something you had to do. Second, why when you discovered somebody else had filed the trademark months prior, did you not try to deal with the issue? And third, why would a trademark dispute prevent you from releasing a trailer and of course add on an 8-month-long delay? Something of course doesn't add up here. Overall, the game the day before was announced in January of 2021, along with the words coming soon. It now won't release until almost 2024, and that's if it even comes out at that time. Now, I'm sure we can all understand that software development is hard and nailing deadlines when months out is incredibly difficult. Realistically, companies 10 times Fantastic size with 10 times as much experience launching products still get this wrong frequent enough for it to be observable. But getting so many things wrong in such a short period of time and overshooting your launch window by 2 years without a single human being being capable of vouching for the product you allegedly have, it's all just beyond belief. The mistakes that they've made over this 2-year period are so incredibly silly that I cannot believe somebody capable of doing that could make a game on the scale that they've been talking about. Now remember, we also talked about the moderator who posted about the original reason for Steam delisting the game. Well, when all this came out, he posted on Discord saying, quote, "Those who wonder if the game is real, I'm wondering the same right now. Nobody saw the gameplay." He is of course somebody who is unpaid and just moderating the game because he loves the community or he loves these types of games. But obviously, if even the moderators, the people who are answering questions for the community, the people you put in charge of speaking to the community and representing you in that way in your Discord server are saying things like this, then that's a really bad look. As an update, while this video was in editing, Fantastic dropped the gameplay trailer that they had delayed due to the trademark dispute. The trailer was their answer to proving the doubters wrong, but yet again, It raised more questions than it answered. People did a side-by-side comparison of the graphics from that initial trailer in 2021 to this new 2023 trailer, and it's night and day a downgrade, including the playable character, which looks incredibly low textured. The game world is mostly empty, and the 10 minutes of gameplay showed a half dozen zombies, no multiplayer elements, and very little actual features or functions. When dissected, people discovered that there are sections of the trailer that are a direct one-to-one copy of a Call of Duty trailer from some years ago. When putting them side by side, it's way too close to be considered tasteful inspiration, which does play into the fact that
What the frick?
other elements of the day before are carbon copies of more successful products, such as the actual main game logo being identical in not only style but minor details to The Last of Us, and the main promotional images being identical to The Division. At this point, there are way too many examples of them copying other successful games that it cannot be a coincidence. And while many games use others as clear inspiration, very rarely is it so blatant in delivery as The Day Before. As for those two questions again, is The Day Before a scam? I don't think anyone can concretely point to a single piece of evidence in the story and say, yes, this is absolutely 100% a scam. It's just incredibly suspect. We can, however, say that judging from the competence of the development studio, not the actual people writing code of course, but the management that are making these decisions, they are absolutely...
And that just doesn't look like hardcore gameplay. That looks like very Xbox stuff.
incompetent. So much so that I would be incredibly comfortable stating that this game, if it ever launches, will be a complete mess. I'm talking missing content that was promised, bugs, networking issues, frame rate issues, bad communication, long waits for fixes, and of course based on their track record, it will be liable to be abandoned at the drop of a hat if it doesn't perform as expected. In terms of the question of what they've gained that could substantiate the ability for it to have been an elaborate scheme, well, we know they benefited from the eyeballs on the product by getting their name out there, by getting eyeballs on Prop Night, a game they actually released, which presumably is monetized, and by giving them the marketing opportunity to put their app in front of more people than it would otherwise have seen. And of course, the story isn't over here. We still have another 10 whole months and potential delays to come afterwards, in which time they could promote or leverage that audience in additional ways. At least whatever happens though, the indicators to not pre-order or purchase this game are as clear as day. Never has there been anything that has been as easy as this one. If there ever comes a time that a little green button appears on the Day Before Steam page with a dollar value next to it, you have never had more warning that it is suspect, and you should definitely wait for reviews from real people who you trust. That is of course if they ever get back on Steam. Perhaps they're going to even change the name and try to leave behind their awful reputation. Or maybe this is all part of a plan, that they purposefully engineered the entire situation to give themselves more excuses to delay, or even to sunset the project. Time will tell, but for now, The Day Before remains an absolute mystery. Will it ever release? And is the most popular game on Steam even real?
Wow, that's very interesting. Lots of drama behind this title. I wonder if I should not buy this because it looks like a bad deal. Let's check out the community hub. How do we do that? Ah, here. So I guess it's just a lot of speculation, right? Should it be not? Should it not be available now?
Artfully developed by Fantastic and brought to you by the publisher Mytona. The open world of The Day Before is beautiful and richly detailed, set in the present day on the U.S. East Coast, following a deadly pandemic. The game begins after you are rescued by the survivors of the Woodbury colony, your new refuge and safe home.
From now on, the doors of Woodbury will always be open to you.
But first, you will create your unique character. Select a personality, choose a gender, and customize every detail. Immersing yourself in our vision of post-apocalyptic America. Woodbury survivors are working to rebuild the community, constantly needing supplies, building materials, and various items. Your main task is to bring as much valuable loot as possible, and in return, you'll be rewarded with the local currency known as Woodbury coins.
Who the hell needs your junk?
Keep track of your health, hunger, and thirst indicators. And remember, dangers are everywhere here, ranging from the vicious infected to other players who are ready to take everything from you. We've designed survival in this world to be a thrilling experience. The weapons, which can be modified, are made with maximum realism to ensure that combat remains deep and engaging at all times. Each weapon boasts unique characteristics, as well as realistic reload and recoil mechanics. Completing various community tasks also presents an opportunity to earn Woodbury coins.
Well, who do I see here? How's it going, my friends?
Woodbury coins can be exchanged for ammo, from regular to armor-piercing, weapons, protective equipment, backpacks, food, drinks, and medicines. Spa access to relax, and a gym to work out. Safeguard your accumulated items by storing them in secure storage.
Yeah,
Exchange Woodbury coins for
Tarkov.
cards to swiftly collect loot and access distant, hard-to-reach locations. You will receive your own ranch, where you can purchase and upgrade houses, as well as install furniture and decorations. The ranch serves as your cozy, safe oasis amidst the post-apocalyptic chaos. Welcome to the next generation of post-apocalyptic MMO open-world survival games like never before. Immerse yourself in The Day Before.
The Day Before, early access December 7.
I'm gonna try to close and reopen Steam and see if it pops up. Weird, this page has changed. Doesn't have the green. Huh. Well, that's the thing I was thinking about. What's up, Karate? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I just watched a long video about this game and how the developers... Sorry, while I talk, I'm trying to add my chat to this. Let's see. Yeah, I just saw this really long video about whether the game's a scam or not, and basically they concluded they don't know if it's a scam, but it's super sus, and it's really hard to scam on Steam. Yada yada yada. Yeah, the whole thing is just kind of weird. I mean, we'll see if it comes live. Like, I'm sitting here kind of watching the page. Like, it's time for it to like it's been past an hour, but there's no specific time. And it's also super sus. There's only like 7 images. Like, the video showed like how they rendered this girl. Like, they showed some game footage of her, but a year or two before they showed game footage that was higher detail. So like, there's a lot of sus stuff in that video. I don't know. I mean, I really kind of hope it's good because I love Tarkov, and this is very Tarkov-esque. You have the stash, you have money to buy stuff. Like, it seems pretty cool, the concept. We'll see, I guess, right? I'm trying to find the fucking chat window. Where is how to add restream chat as a source? Yeah, I haven't played Tarkov in forever. Because of that. How do I get my restream chat? So first, navigate to your encoder page, click chat, then settings. Chat. Settings. Click embed and stream. Oh, I don't want to do that though. Oh, okay. Boom. Yeah, I'm grabbing it from Restream, which is a little bit different. I mean, it's kind of like Streamlabs. Oh, I see what you're saying. I could probably pop it out of the chat window, huh? So now we're going to add a browser. Restream chat. Boom. Boom. So that should be, oh, that sucks. But it's okay. I don't need it here. I need it on my BRB screen. And I want to change, let's see, I should be able to change the size. Oh, I may have to change it. Okay, so I made it transparent. Message background opacity, chat background opacity. Oh, wait. Yeah, I should be right. Huh, weird. Delete. Yes. Restream chat clear. That should be it. There we go. Haha. Oh, I need to make it not as wide. I don't think I can. That's a little silly. Yeah, but like it doesn't do a word wrap, which is weird. There's no settings for that at all. Unless I do Fortnite box, Fortnite blue comic. Yeah, it doesn't give me the option to control. I'll just make it small. And it'll just run off. That's fine. Not that I'm like a big time streamer and do this shit all the time or anything like that. I just like having my UI sorted. I think I like setting it up and then I don't like doing it because I don't actually like streaming most of the time. I get fed up and like stop after an hour. So anyway, yeah. Here, this thing should be live like any second. discussion. Last 13 minutes. How do we know? So there's only 5 more minutes? So I guess at 1 it launches. Yeah, like the trailer, it's such small, it's just, ugh. The footage is just very, very truncated, very short. Like this game could totally blow. I'm gonna grab a coffee, be right back. Alright, 1 more minute, I guess. Maybe. I'm probably have to close and open Steam. I don't know. Damn, pretty serious processor requirement. That's my old computer was a 8700K. Still a fairly good chip by modern standards. I can't even imagine what Tarkov looked like. I'd be like, I played Tarkov in Ultra, but man, I played Tarkov like 200 frames Ultra on this thing that I got now. F5 I don't think works in Steam. Oh, maybe oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna BRB for a second. We are loading the game. No, I'm not purchasing it for a friend. I'm purchasing it for myself. Oh. Let me put a new credit card in, I guess. Shit, that means I need my wallet. Okay, we're installing. Let me just get the purchase confirmation off the fucking screen. Boom. All right. What did I just buy? The what? The day before. Boop. Boop. She's installing. What's up, imposter? Yeah, right? Gotta know if it's good or not. Are you in, Here, I'll go in a pub. Can I create my own channel in here? There. It's a little slow on the download, huh? Or it's big. Actually, it's not that slow. 600 megs a second. Guess it's just a big game. What's up, imposter? What have you been playing? Have you been doing Foxhole with the guys? I just never really got into Foxhole. I played it a little bit. I got the basic gist of it, but I just never got good. I feel it's one of those games that you just don't really get good. You have to coordinate. You have to coordinate your attacks, and there's really, like, other than being careful, it's hard to just, like, be the guy. I have today off. Actually, I had the rest of the I had the rest of the year off. I'm done with all my projects. Saturday, I'm gonna go check out a venue that's got bands playing that we just did, just to experience. Check up on it, make sure everything's good. But I'm technically done with work. I'm done with making money. Let's at least put it that way. But there's just really not a whole lot of games to go off the deep end on, which it's been like that for me for a while lately. In other news, the 11th, the boat I've been trying to buy, the lawyer says it should be done by the 11th because we have to go to probate court. So that may pop up, but it's fucking cold weather now. Like, I honestly been thinking about backing out of the whole deal just because I'm pissed. I went on vacation. I went to the DR and just came back from that. Man, it's funny how much time video games and work, when you don't have those two things, I guess I gotta settle down and quit playing around. All right, let's see. We're almost 30%. Jeez, it's going slow. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about Last Oasis. PUBG is always worth installing. I used to really love PUBG. Oh, I guess they have a lot of hacking going on too. Look at that. Abuse of illegal software. I have a lot of games that I like just loaded up and just wasn't interested in. I should have refunded them. I also should get on the rabbit hole of Elite Dangerous. I only have 200 hours in that. I have a 6 set up for Elite, even though the game's not nearly as cool as Star Citizen graphically. The gameplay, I think, is a little bit deeper. Icarus is something new I just picked up. I played it for 2.3 hours and I was over it. That's like so typical of me. I wish I had been Kerbal, 18 hours. Seems like it was a long time, but I guess it was just 1 day or 2 days. Like, I'll do that. I'll literally go hard and just play a video game for 2 days and never come back. Myth of Empire is another one that like I wanted to like and didn't. I mean, I guess all these are games I wanted to like and either didn't or I barely played Sons of the Forest. Mainly because I wanted to co-op and no one wanted to play. So I was like, fuck it. I was over it. A railway game I played for 110 minutes. Squadrons. I played Squadrons until you were supposed to power slide and I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't pull it off with my joystick. So I never went back to Squadrons. 2.5 hours of gameplay. They Are Billions is a fun game. Alright, 25 hours in Valheim too. Same thing, like 2 or 3 days tops. Tops. Oh my god, we're almost there! Let's do it! Let's do it! Yes! Yes! I guess I don't have BattleEye installed yet. What's out of video memory? I have an RTX. What's up, else? I made to do a reboot here. It's fine. The stream won't go down if I do, but let's just see what happens. We'll try again. I have RTX. What do I have? A 3070 Ti. That's a weird... Okay. I'm going to reboot the computer. You're going to hear... my comms are going to go down for a minute, but I will be right back. So, just stick around. It'll only be a couple seconds. Backyard, la la la, here we are. Okay, let's try. I've got like 64 gigs of RAM, fucking TI video card. If this doesn't load, I'm gonna be pissed. I guess I won't be that pissed because I'll just refund it, but you know, I want to play it actually. Get the fuck out. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Let's go. A coin. Oh, music! We have music! You got unlimited data? I'm gonna go with limited data. Just because I don't trust these developers. And I usually trust developers, but... Oh, personality. Oh, ghost. Mysterious and dark. With bright blue eyes. Oh, what's her body type? Hold on. Oh, bad frames. Oh no. Okay. What happened there? Oh, we got weird hair. Yes. I don't care about the stars. Should be younger, so we like freckles. Do a little bit of freckles. That's dumb. I hate when they do dumb tattoos. A little bit of partying too much last night. What do you think we should do? What should we do for hair? Is my mic good? Should we do like a fuckboy hairdo? Should we be a smooth criminal with chops? Alright, that's good. Oh man. I don't know if I should put my name in this. Get my clothes. I guess not. And, you know, not that I don't trust you guys. Not that I don't trust you guys, but just for my oh no! No! Connection problems! Alright, we'll just pick one. I'll trust you guys. Bridge. Let's go Eastburg! East side! You can do it!
Stay put. Show me your hands. Do you hear me?
Show me your hands.
Damn. Is he infected? Looks clean. What do we do? He'll die here. No time. Get him to the car.
Hey, can you hear me? It looks like your pupils are responding and your hearing is intact. How are you feeling? When we found you, you had lost a lot of blood. I don't usually believe in miracles, so I assume that your quick recovery is the result of incredible fortitude. Oh, by the way, welcome to Woodbury. I think this is the first time we've ever seen you here. So, you're probably not from around these parts. But don't worry, make yourself at home. So, can you get up? Try to get off the bed.
I hate when the animations take so long like this. It's whoa, okay, that's a little weird. That's third person too, huh?
How are you feeling? Great. I'm really glad to see you recovering so quickly. We've saved. My name is Leonard. Woodbury's done.
Alright, I can click through it. That's good.
Alright. Your speech organs seem fine.
Speech organs.
Nice to meet you. Well, I'm sure you have a lot. So, if you're feeling okay already, don't worry. Everyone...
I don't want to hear the story.
Don't forget to take your belongings. They're in the bag by the door.
That's awfully nice of him to tell me where my stuff is. So... You... Take. Spacebar. Can I also just click on it? Oh no. Oh, I can right click. Okay. Good.
For weapons and other equipment, you can check out Adolf's shop. And if you need medical supplies, you'll be able to buy them from me when I return.
Oh god, walking is way too slow. Way too slow.
You must have been thirsty. If you go out again, don't forget to replenish your food and water supplies at Rob's bar.
Oh my god. Get me out of here. Oh, how do I get out of this? How do you chat? That's it. This is the game. Communication, text chat, T. Okay.
New dawn, new hustle. Let's get this bread.
Or do I need to eat food? That's so Tarkov-y, the food and like the tea. Alright, let's try again. We'll give it another try. Try and join this full server now. gonna close Steam and reopen it. Maybe there's an update.
Okay, so we're gonna be playing a different game today because this is totally fucking good.
What the fuck?
It sucks because the only way to go through the server list is to scroll the mouse wheel, so good luck getting down to the server before someone. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can get in the game, man. It's like non-stop. Like I kind of just gave up for a minute to see if something happened, or if like more servers came online. But I bet you what's happening is I'm hitting load on a server after it's already been full. That seems to be what's going down. I'm gonna check Steam and try and reload Steam and see if there's an update. Gonna do a quick little. Oh, let's see what my temps are. 107 degrees on the fucking in RTX. That's crazy high for not doing anything. Hope this is one of those games that like melts video cards and computers, right? All right, let's try to load again. Day before, there's no updates or anything like that. You have to manually check for updates, right? No. If we're gonna get a load, it should be on this server. Let's see. Looks like they're bringing a bunch of them online. Look at that, or people are just quitting the game. I'm on a timer here to refund too, because this is getting approaching an hour, I think. Down. Yeah, I'm pretty much over trying to connect. All right, refund request. And that concludes. Well, we have 5 minutes left before we are 2 hours into our day before launch event. Probably have 45 minutes worth of actually trying to load. Servers are melting. Maybe it'll be better later. I don't know. But for now, we are done.